Well, this is some good news here. Shenmue HD Remaster domain name seemingly registered by Sega Europe. Ahead of Shenmue 3 are HD remakes of the originals on the horizon. Amid the burgeoning hype of Ryo Hazuki's long-awaited and successful crowdfunded Shenmue 3, Sega publishers of Shenmue and Shenmue 2 announced it was investigating the possibility of making the original games last May. While nothing was as simple as porting the game to the current platforms, it appears Sega Europe has since registered the domain names of ShenmueHD.com and ShenmueRemastered.com, as reportedly Gematsu, I believe. Both domain names were filed in September and can be viewed via domain name search sites. I'll give you a look at what it looks like. Although Sega has made it clear its desire to redo Ryo Hazuki's Dreamcast-dwelling open-world adventures in the past, community manager Dan Sheridan discussed the challenge of doing so via the Q&A session last year. I don't know if you've heard about it, but maybe I can find a link for it because I already heard about it and I looked into it. Here's a direct quote from him. Sadly, it's not as simple as porting the game to the current platforms, as we would need to ensure that any HD remaster lives up to the quality of the original titles, Sheridan said. And with games as immersive as Shenmue 1 and 2, there are further complications from licensed products that were included in the original game. That said, we'd love to do it and are currently investigating how to make it a reality. What he means by that is the original Shenmue had, like, I think Coca-Cola and stuff like that in there. I'm pretty sure the American version had like Jet Cola or some shit, which is kind of ironic because it makes me think of, Always Sunny in Philadelphia when Frank has Wolf Cola. But anyway, they did that for copyright reasons, and there's a whole bunch of arcade games that have classic Sega titles, and I think some of them were on that were only in Japan. I can't remember the names of them. Forget it. It just is a lot of litigation and bullshit like that with copyrights. As it stands, both proposed domains return blank pages. However, HD remake of the original game, now over 17 years old, and a 15-year-old retrospectively, would be wonderful ahead of the incoming Shenmue 3, particularly given the fact that the second series entry ended in a cliffhanger. PC Gamer has reached out to Sega and thus far has gotten no comments, obviously. Now, there's two schools of thought about Shenmue. Two schools. They're the people who actually were alive when Shenmue came out or were old enough to play it, such as myself, and then you got the younger douchebags who watched Funhouse play it and they're like, this game is horrible, it wasn't that good, it's stupid, the voice acting's bad. Yeah, fuck you, faggot, you didn't experience it. Alright, it's like fucking people who sit there and try to tell me PewDiePie's funny, but they didn't think Richard Pryor was funny. Of course you don't think Richard Pryor's funny. When Richard Pryor was doing what he was doing, he was ahead of the curve 30 years ago. Just like Shenmue doesn't seem amazing to you now because open world games are fucking every goddamn where. But when Shenmue came out, dude, it was revolutionary. It was fucking revolutionary. Right now, remember when the iPhone came out? Everybody lost their minds. Now nobody gives a shit. Wait until like 10, 15 years from now when people look back at the iPhone and go, it wasn't that revolutionary. There'll be people like, yes, it was. I remember when it came out. Before that, we had fucking Nokia phones. The shits were like goddamn bricks. And these are beep, beep, boop, beep, boop. And shit like that. That was as far as you got. Now, fucking, like, the iPhone plays out an entire song from shit. You can voice chat with people, look at them, to your thumbprint and shit like that. Essentially, that's what Shenmue is. Shenmue was the iPhone of gaming. Alright, until that shit came out, nobody thought of open world. Hell, the game even went as far as to have an algorithm in place where there's one stage in Shenmue 2 where you go up in the buildings and stuff, right? It's like an abandoned house complex. Some homeless people live there. And almost every fucking room you can enter. And the algorithm would like then see what room you're entering in. Judging the size, it would then place furniture in a specific design that would fit the room. That shit was so fucking next gen. It's crazy. Think about it now. You don't get your bitch ass out of here, but get out. Get the fuck out. I'm busy. I mean, fuck. You could go into these rooms. Think about Fallout. Think about Fallout 4 right fucking now. Alright? There's no, like, going into a random room and then there's an algorithm in place that, like, puts furniture and shit in a fucking location to fill that random room. No. This just boarded off rooms. This is a modern game in a game that came out fucking 15 years ago. And more creativity in place. And people still sit there and go, Shenmue wasn't that good. And the voice acting's so bad. Yeah, they spent all that money fucking creating an entire world. Nobody did open world before. Nobody took that chance. Of course it cost a lot of money. They didn't have any money for good voice actors. What the fuck? Back then, video gaming was just gaming. It isn't like it is now, where video gaming is all mainstream and it's AAA, and you fucking have celebrities going to openings of games and jerking off on it. And everyone's like, oh, we could get the guy from the Old Spice commercial to be Doomfist. Whoopee! No, it was back when everybody thought video gaming was bullshit. So basically, developers were about creating art and story and trying to prove and validate the video game industry. Not like today, shit where it's just so overly popularized. Now you got every dickhead and their mother trying to capitalize on video gaming culture, and it's thus ruined it. God, they spend more there's more money spent on fucking Destiny. Fucking Destiny spent more money to be made than Shenmue. And Shenmue has more content than Destiny. What the fuck does that tell you? I'm out. I'm done. I'm fucking done. Don't forget to rate, comment, subscribe. Fuck my life.
This. Get lost.
That's it, your history!
Yeah!
That's it! Damn, you're pretty tough!
I don't have time to play your little games.
Yes, I'm sorry!